Today I'm going to tell you an interesting story about the life of Saint Narcissus of Jerusalem. Saint Narcissus is also known as the patron saint of elderly people and lamp makers. He was born around the 1st century into a Christian family in the region of Greece. In his early life, he was known to be very quiet with deep devotion to God and prayer. As he grew up, he witnessed the persecution of the early Christians during the 1st century where Christian believers were executed in public. These experiences shaped his heart and soul for his future ministry. In his young life, he became a priest. Over time, his deep wisdom and holiness gained attention. People saw in him not just a good man, but a man touched by divine grace. As the years passed, the church in Jerusalem saw great need for steady leadership, especially in times when heresies and conflicts tried to tear the faithful apart. Around the year 180 AD, when Narcissus was already around 80 years old, he was appointed as the 30th bishop of Jerusalem. Despite his advanced age, he accepted the role with grace. The people of Jerusalem came to love him dearly. He was known for his strict discipline, deep prayer life, and most of all, his miracles. One famous miracle tells of a holy Saturday when the church ran out of oil for the lamps during the Easter Vigil. He instructed the deacons to fill the lamps with water from a nearby well. Then he prayed. To the astonishment of everyone present, the water turned into oil, burning the lamps brightly all night long. The story spread far and wide. Even non-believers were moved by the miracle. As he kept preaching, many people were converted. However, some grew resentful of his leadership and falsely accused him of a grave sin out of anger and jealousy. Their accusations were falsely fabricated, and out of fear of his life, Saint Narcissus responded not with anger, but with silence and retreat. He withdrew from public life and disappeared into solitude, living as a hermit in prayer and fasting for several years. In his absence, 3 bishops took his place, one after the other. But then, just as quietly as he had left, Saint Narcissus returned. The truth had come to light, and his accusers were struck by divine justice and repented. At this time, he was very old, over 100 years old. The church welcomed him back, and he resumed his position. In his final years, he spent most of his time in prayer and contemplation until he died at the age of 116 years old, making him the oldest bishop in the history of the Catholic Church. After his death, his body was buried in the catacombs of Jerusalem. Though no physical relics of his body are known to have survived, his legacy lives on through written accounts and oral tradition that continue to honor his life and contributions to the Church. Today he is venerated as the patron saint of elderly people and lamp makers. His feast day is celebrated every 29th of October. If you like stories like this, support us, follow, like, and subscribe.